going on, guys? Welcome in the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Seatman. Coming up on today's show, I want to go over the latest internet rumors that are suggesting that J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner could hold out of Vikings training camp if they do not get their rookie contract signed. That's coming up for you guys in just a second, but also later on today's show, what to watch at training camp. Going over my top, positions to watch, some battles to watch heading into training camp, as it should be a fun show, or it should be a fun camp for the Minnesota Vikings, as there's a ton of positions that are going to be battled out at that training camp session. But we'll start it off with this. If you guys think JJ will show up to training camp, I just need you guys to drop a like on today's video. There's a lot of mumbo jumbo out there that he could be holding out, and I want to put it to bed. So if you guys could drop a like on today's video. I put the goal at 200. Hopefully we blow that out of the water, and you guys, make me look good for my bosses. So if you guys want J.J. McCarthy to show up, just drop a like on today's show. But how did this all start? How did this kind of news and rumors drama around J.J. McCarthy possibly holding out, where did it begin? Well, it actually started about a month or about 5 weeks ago when Pretty Ricky tweeted this out. So, Pretty Ricky, he's a Twitter account out there in NFL media. No real confirmed reports on who this man is, but he rocks a dog profile pic, and he said this on June 11th, saying, "Interesting development in Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy plans to hold out unless he gets 100% of his signing bonus up front. The Vikings have never done that before," which is true, but I do want to make this note. The C.J. Stroud with the Houston Texans, the Texans did not give all of their rookies their signing bonus up front, but they did it with C.J. Stroud last year, so they changed how they handled things. Hopefully the Vikings do the same here, but Pretty Ricky, he's pretty tapped in when it comes to contract news. Like when Amon-Ra St. Brown and Penei Sewell signed their extensions with the Detroit Lions, he had those reports even the day before they actually broke amongst big-time NFL media members like Adam Schefter and Pelissero. But it was actually Pro Football Talk. A good friend over there, Mike Florio, had this to say, talking about rookie contracts. Said, "With the contracts for draft picks slotted as to value, there are three major issues for haggling. 1, signing bonus cash flow. 2, language to avoid remaining guarantees. 3, offset language as to the remaining guarantees." So that's pretty interesting there coming in from Florio. Florio actually gave credit to Pretty Ricky. In his article, he said, I forget the verbiage he used, but he said like Twitter sensation or, something along those lines talking about Ricky. But Ricky did tweet this out yesterday after Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze signed their deals with the Chicago Bears, saying J.J. McCarthy is the only quarterback who hasn't signed. So, no deal yet. Rookies are reporting to training camp, supposed to in about 4 days from now. So, here's my take on the situation. If the holdup is the signing bonus, like let's just say all of this is true, and Ricky is right, that JJ will not show up unless he gets his full signing bonus up front, the Vikings would be idiotic not to pay him. The Vikings need to do it. There is no doubt in my mind that would be the right decision for the Minnesota Vikings front office. Just give them all the signing bonus up front. It's not going to make any difference. It just comes down to when you are going to pay him. However, I will say this. Let's just say that is true, and the Vikings say we are not going to, convey to J.J. McCarthy and his camp, and they're not going to give him the signing bonus all up front. I do think it would be a terrible look for J.J. if he holds out of his first training camp over a signing bonus. Now, I just think when you are a new quarterback and you are someone who is younger in your organization, whether it is your job, whether it is, your football team, whether you're in high school or college or whatever it may be, it would be a terrible look if JJ holds out of his first training camp over a signing bonus. But I will say this, I still believe he will show up no matter what. Like, if he gets this signing bonus all up front, or if the Vikings do want to, aggregate it down the line and have him get, a more bi-weekly check for his bonus, I still think he's going to show up. I think he understands the ramifications. If he does not show up, what type of look would that give him in that locker room? How does his teammates look at him? Obviously a little differently. So I'm really not too worried about this. I still think JJ is going to show up and absolutely ball out at training camp. But also, this was big news from Schefter. Caleb Williams in regarding to J.J. McCarthy. He did sign his rookie contract on a 4-year, $39 million deal. Includes a signing bonus of $25.5 million. He's going to get that all up front. So, this is big news for McCarthy. Also has a 5th-year team option as well. But also Rome Odunze signed his deal. This was obviously closer to J.J. McCarthy as, he was pick number 10. But Rome at pick number 8, I think that's a typo on Adam Schefter. I'm pretty sure Adam Schefter had were the Bears pick 8? Maybe, whatever. Who cares? But he signed a deal for 4 years, $22 million, $13 million signing bonus as well. So that leaves only 3 rookies unsigned, and the Vikings have 2 of them. Dallas Turner, J.J. McCarthy, and Amarius Mims. This is how the Bengals have also handled things in the past. They're always up to the bell with signing their rookies, but still, J.J. McCarthy, Dallas Turner, both unsigned. I'm not concerned about the situation whatsoever, but maybe you guys. Does this situation concern you? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down in the comments section. I don't think it's a big deal. I think these deals are going to get done no matter what. So listen, I am not concerned whatsoever. I think JJ is going to be there if he does get the signing bonus all up front or not. I think he's going to show up. I think he would understand, what it would mean if this or if he does not show up, what type of look that would give him, in the locker room. But coming up next here on the program, I do want to talk about my top storylines to watch at Vikings training camp that gets underway here shortly. I cannot wait. That has some real content, we can talk about. So that's coming up for you guys in just a second. But first off, I want to tell you guys about a place where you can get some J.J. McCarthy jerseys today, because I guarantee you he will be on the Vikings this upcoming year. There's no doubt about that with all this, hoopla going on. But hey, if you guys want to get a J.J. McCarthy jersey, head to chatsports.com/Vikings jersey. Put that link for you guys in the comments and description of today's show. Make sure you guys click that link. Check them out. You guys won't regret it. But let's get into the top storylines here. So number 1 for me, the battle for left guard. And, we've heard this is a 2-man race between Dalton Risner and Blake Brandel. And the way Dalton Risner's contract is set up, he gets a $500,000 signing bonus if he does make the roster. So the Vikings, if they wanted to save some cheddar, they could just start Blake Brandel and then not even bring Dalton Risner to the 53-man roster. However, I do think that would be a mistake. But right now, I do have it slated in as Dalton Risner at the starting left guard. Chris Cupper, Vikings offensive line coach, raves about Blake Brandel, so maybe they're probably leaning to him. But honestly, I think this is a 50-50 race. I would have no indication on, who's going to edge either person out for this. But if I had to choose who's starting at left guard, I'd roll with Dalton Risner, but let's just say he struggles, or maybe a guy like Ed Ingram struggles. Blake Brandel should be ready to go ASAP. But number 2 for me, the battle for wide receiver 3. And, I'm assuming this is going to be, Jordan Addison will be there. He'll be, active. And obviously, if he is suspended or if he's not, he will be there as the no doubt wide receiver 2. But there is going to be a battle at wide receiver 3. I mean, I think it's going to be a 3-head race with Sherfield, Naylor, and Powell. Sherfield being the more run-blocking wide receiver. Naylor being that more gadget guy, super silky, getting in and out of routes. And then Brandon Powell is just, the player who's most familiar with the system, I would say. So if I had to pick my wide receiver 3, I'm going Jalen Naylor. But I think the Vikings are going to lead Brandon Powell. He's very familiar with Kevin O'Connell, was with him and Sean McVay back with the, Los Angeles Rams. So, I think it's probably going to be Powell's job there. But also quarterback, too. So, this is going to contradict the, report we did just get that JJ could be quarterback 1. But, I think there's going to be a battle for quarterback 2, and it's probably going to be between Nick Mullins and JJ McCarthy. But I think there's no reason Nick Mullins or Jaren Hall should play this year. And, the biggest reason for that is we know who Nick Mullins is. There is no unknown of his game. There would be no reason for the Vikings to roll him out there in comparison to J.J. McCarthy. Let's just say, Sam Darnold is, abducted by aliens or whatever it may be, and he can't, go out there week 1. I would just roll out J.J. McCarthy. There is no reason to put out Nick Mullins. I just, maybe you could make the argument to me where, the other guys in the offense as a whole could, put up better numbers, but I just think for the future of this franchise, there is just absolutely no reason Mullins should play, and also Jaren Hall. He's kind of a waste of a pick looking back at it. But number 4 for me is the backup safety position. We obviously know the 3-headed monster of Josh Metellus, Harrison Smith, and Cameron Bynum. But, besides those 3, like, who else is going to be on the field? We also did hear a report that Josh Metellus has put on more weight and he could be more of a hybrid linebacker. Obviously, last year he was damn near playing linebacker majority of the time. But, I think Metellus is an interesting choice. Or not Metellus, Theo Jackson's an interesting choice. Jay Ward, Lewis Cine. I'm a big fan of Theo Jackson. I think he's played good in the spot reps he has had. But, I think if we're talking about Lewis Cine here, like, how does he make this team? Like, let's say the Vikings keep 5 safeties. He's not making it. Even if they keep 6 safeties, like we've heard Najee Thompson, he's working with the safeties now, so he's going to get that nod over Lewis Cine. I just think it's more likely than not that Cine ends up getting cut, which is, disappointing considering, the Vikings were at pick 12, traded back a couple times, and then, obviously, took Lewis Cine at the end of the first round there. So pretty disappointing there. But, wish the best for him, but I just really think he's going to end up getting cut from this 53-man roster. But number 5 for me is the battle for tight end 2 or 3. Obviously, once TJ Hockenson gets back, this will be more the battle for tight end 3. But, for the foreseeable future for the Vikings, it's going to be a battle for tight end 2 because Josh Oliver, he's going to slide into TN1 once the season does get underway. But will it be Tunyon? Will it be Muse? Could it be even a guy like N'Keal Harry? We've heard he was working out with the tight end. So if I had to pick it right now, I think it's going to be Tunyon. Alec Lewis works for The Athletic. He did a sweet write-up on Tunyon and how special he was at the OTA and minicamp period, which was great to hear. But he's got some elite pass-catching ability. And plus, funny fact about Tunyon, he has played for all NFC North teams so far in his career. Pretty cool. I mean, he was undrafted to the Detroit Lions, went to the Packers, went to the Bears last year, and now he ends up with the Minnesota Vikings. But, hey, if you guys are excited about Vikings training camp, just give me a me down in the comment section. I cannot wait. I feel like a little kid on Christmas Eve right now waiting for damn training camp. Can't imagine the feeling I'm going to have sleeping on Saturday night before week 1 versus the New York Giants, where we take down that fraudulent football team there in New York. But, hey, if you guys are excited about Vikings training camp, give me a me down in the comment section. And also, here's my Twitter, @PatSeeps. If you guys want to give me a follow over there, I would really, really appreciate it. But thank you guys so much for tuning in on today's show. Don't think there's really any buzz around the J.J. McCarthy front, but just wanted to get you guys that information. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. Skol Vikes.